Well, he was...
New Order.
Oh, no, don't tell me that.
No, I mean, it was, when he remixed Obstacle 1, that was a total honor. I have a lot of Arthur Baker 12 inches, actually, remixes of, like, Hall & Oates, for instance. Who would ever think that would, be really, really, really cool? But it is, actually, when he puts a stamp on it.
How good a job did he do, Paul, do you think?
Pretty good. I like that remix.
And how are you feeling today?
Not so great. Not so great, actually.
I'm sorry about that. Sorry for bringing back the memories of Vancouver theft, but you got your stuff back. I don't want to bring this back up again, but how did you end up getting your stuff back? I'm just curious.
I don't know. Someone tracked down the kid that bought the guitar, and then I spoke to him over the phone and described it, and he was nice enough to give it back.
That's great.
How much did he buy it for? $60?
Yeah.
Oh, so a fellow fan bought
No, it wasn't a fan.
No, the guy sold the guitars, went into a bar, and sold them to two people. The bartender, some kid came to the show later on after the show and told us this. We called the bartender, or someone in our group called the bartender, and he knew the guy that bought Paul's guitar, and therefore we were able to contact him.
I got nauseous. I got to go to the bathroom.
Okay, Paul. Well, one sec before you go. Doot-doot-a-loot-doo.
Doot.
Oh, wait. We continue on here with Interpol as Paul goes away. I guess he is the singer. Am I allowed to call Paul the singer?
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to give him some break because he needs to rest some extra time, right?
His voice, he's got to rest his voice.
But Sam, what is the difference between being Paul in the band and being Sam in the band? Like, for instance, are these guys going to leave now individually, so it's just going to be me and you left at the end?
Could be. I think the biggest difference is 10 years.
Baboom! Interpol here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Carlos, after the set you're playing tonight, I saw some posters up for you doing a DJ set.
That's correct.
What's it like doing the DJ thing? Were you inspired by Princess Superstar out of New York?
That's a good question, but no, I wasn't. I've been DJing just as long as I've been in this group. In fact, probably even before that, I had like a radio show in college and stuff like that. So it was just something that I wanted to just keep doing and doing it. Sometimes you play a show and you don't know where to go because you're not familiar with the city and stuff. So if you can set up like a DJ gig as an after party, you can invite everyone down and have a good time after the show. So
at what point do you lay down the law? Like, for instance, Daniel, let's say it's $20 to get into your gig tonight.
Yeah.
And it's $30 to get into the after party. No, it isn't.
That's bullshit.
But I mean, would you lay down the line? Has anything like that happened where it's been more expensive for the after party?
Well, Carlos is a real show. We're just opening up. We're getting things warmed up, basically, for the real stage, which happens at the after show. But, I mean, soon enough, we're going to switch it around, and, he'll be the main show, and we'll be the after show. And we'll hire someone who looks like him to play with us.
And you actually are DJing, aren't you? Because there are some people that say they're doing DJing, and they don't always DJ, do they?
What do you mean that they don't DJ?
Well, like, for instance, if you want 50 Cent to DJ your celebrity party, it's $10,000 US for 15 minutes.
Okay, but he's DJing for 15
No, he does nothing. He just shows up.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not like that at all. In fact, I would actually prefer that nobody even, acknowledges that it's me DJing. I'd rather them just, dance and enjoy the music.
Aha! You alluded to something there, Carlos. Acknowledgement. Do you get more acknowledgement doing the acknowledgement? Acknowledgement. This is the way it usually happens. Acknowledgement, Carlos. Do you get more acknowledgement when you're doing the DJ than you're doing the actual band thing?
That would be impossible because my band is 40 gazillion times more popular than my DJing, so...
I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, another couple years, we'll get there. Don't worry.
Actually, it's being made it's being overly dramatized because, honestly, it's just about me, playing music that I want to hear and having people listen to it, and that's really all I care about.
Well, is he more accessible at the DJ stuff, though, Sam?
Yes. He's kind of a sitting duck because he's behind the turntables, and, people... He can't go anywhere when people come up to him and ask him all crazy questions and stuff like that.
Okay, just one quick question. I don't want to keep going on. It's winding up here, but how do you keep people away from the DJ booth?
I don't actually have a strategy. I mean, sometimes DJ booths are very high up, and you have to go through a spiral staircase or something like that. So that usually is a preventative measure. But for instance, last night I was on a stage that was very easily accessible by people, and they were all coming up, all night. But it's not a problem.
Daniel of Interpol, your bandmate Carlos wrote an article for Vice magazine.
Yeah, I didn't read it, though. So,
All about heavy
Metal?
All about heavy metal. Did you read that article at All
I
Sound?
did not. I missed it.
Did you read that article? You wrote it.
I wrote it and read it, actually.
And now you talked a lot about heavy metal being the blueprint for who you are today. Is heavy metal responsible for you and Interpol? Is heavy metal responsible for Interpol?
Well, indirectly, I guess you could say, because if it weren't for heavy metal, I wouldn't have gone into music, and I wouldn't have been able to play guitar, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, absolutely.
Because I was telling some people I was going down to interview Interpol, and they were saying, is that a metal band? Because, does the name sound metal? Interpol!
It's pretty tough.
And then I just read the Vice article and I thought, oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, I told them, yeah, it was. Check out Vice magazine.
Well, Paul came up with the idea to call ourselves Interpol, so.
No, and he's not here, so he can't defend it, so let's just say it was a metal band. So, winding up here, Carlos of Interpol, I was curious. You were talking a little bit about Nirvana in your article about metal.
Yes, I was.
Now, are you pro-Nirvana or are you anti-Nirvana? Because some of the metal dudes out there, for instance, do you remember Janie Lane from the hair metal band Warrant?
Yeah.
He remembers... Well, actually, maybe I can ask you this. Where were you when you first heard Smells Like Teen Spirit, Daniel?
I was in high school.
Do you remember the moment?
I was on TV or something like that.
Do you remember the moment you heard Smells Like Teen Spirit?
I remember the precise moment.
What was happening?
I was driving in a car on I-95, heading north.
Oh, my God. And what were you thinking when you heard that song?
I thought that it sounded hauntingly familiar, and I instantly loved it and turned it up really loud.
Okay,
I was trying to figure out, like, well, what is it? Have I heard this before? Or what? Yeah.
Now, Carlos, how do you think Janie Lane of the band Warrant reacted to hearing Smells Like Teen Spirit for the first time?
Probably not well.
He pulled over to the side of the road and cried.
I hope he did, at least.
So what I was wondering is, when you heard Smells Like Teen Spirit, did you cry totally?
Well, I cried with joy, actually, because I really, really loved it when I first heard it. It kicked my ass.
But it killed metal, though. Nirvana killed metal. So are you pro or anti-Nirvana? Because it did kill metal.
I'm pro-Nirvana, and at that time I was kind of like getting out of metal anyway, too. I was part of the whole historical process that was, causing the demise of heavy metal, which was grunge.
So you were participating, helping destroy heavy metal, and yet heavy metal created you.
I'm a very complex individual.
Carlos, lastly here, when I was in junior high school, I was like a prop for everyone else's humor.
That is correct.
That's what you wrote in Vice magazine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then somebody posted on the message board, hate to tell you this, Carlos, but nothing's changed.
Oh, snap.
Ba-boom!
Ba-boom, exactly.
But what do you feel about that? You criticized when you're doing metal, and now you criticize the gain in Interpol.
What can you do? You can never escape. The coil.
Is this the curse of Janie Lane coming to haunt you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Now, are there any metal connections, lastly, between Interpol and metal and heavy metal? Have you had any heavy metal roadies? Have you played with Guns N' Roses yet? You know what I mean?
No.
No, wait. We played at a festival where Guns N' Roses headlined. We went on at 1 in the afternoon, and they went on at about 11 p.m. or something like that.
Oh, yeah, and they kept you backstage, didn't they?
They did. They shut down, they kept every single artist, and they shut down the dressing areas, and then all of a sudden they're like, Axl is on the stage, and they let everyone move again. But it was like, they shut down for like an hour. We were all trapped in an area, all these artists.
And that's when I saw Arthur Baker sleeping at a like kind of cafeteria table, and I took a picture of him. Yeah.
No, was that sad because he's down and out, or is that...
I think he might have been just...
Long day?
Yeah, and the whole Guns N' Roses fiasco probably just wiped him out.
So you guys are playing with Guns N' Roses indirectly. Are you able to take any mementos? Are you into the mementos? Like, they had Buckethead at that time. Did you see the guy with Kentucky Fried Chicken at least?
We didn't see anyone. They weren't existent back then.
Could you go in the dressing room afterwards and pick something out?
They had like tons of like bodyguards and stuff like that. And I think I could take them, but
after they're gone.
They had the real Interpol kind of hovering around them and protecting them, so you couldn't. There was totally inaccessible.
But how about you guys? You're playing all these festivals. I mean, The Cure. You're playing with all these great bands. I can't even name them because there's so many great bands that you guys are playing with. Do you ever go full out and think, I'm going to take a memento?
Not so much, no.
Because a friend of mine had Jason Priestley from Beverly Hills
90210,
who lives in
Los Angeles?
No,
Vancouver.
And he was from Vancouver, over at his house, and it was at a house party. And Jason went to the washroom, and the toilet wasn't working, so it didn't flush properly.
Oh. No, he didn't.
He did. So he came. No, he didn't get fecal. My friend came in afterwards and scooped up in a little cup and put Jason Priestley's piss in a bottle and put it on the mantelpiece.
Piss in a bottle.
Because you never know, it might be good for eBay someday. So I was wondering, have you guys done anything like that in all the festivals? Have you taken any mementos from anything aside from the time you're spending with me? I mean, this is going to be your record of Vancouver here, 2004. Have you taken anything from any of your tours? Have you got any stuff from like a lock of Robert Smith's hair or anything like that?
Lipstick. I ganked his lipstick.
You actually took his lipstick?
I'm kidding. You're just fishing for things, though. Cause
I was hoping that it was some memento.
You're giving us inspiration. There's a lot of good ideas to draw from now. Lipstick and urine and feces, locks of hair. Vancouver.
I gotta ask you guys lastly here, Interpol. What's this story about Paul and you, Carlos, and the axe-wielding granny? Or was that Daniel? Who was that?
That was Paul and Carlos.
That's actually pretty big. Oh, that's old trivia, actually. It's old trivia on the group. What about it?
Well, there's an axe-wielding granny. I think that's amazing.
She didn't have an axe. She had a hammer. That's a big, big hammer.
And she came after you?
Yeah. She was chasing us. She wanted to beat our heads with the hammer.
Anything else you want to add to the people out there at all, Interpol? Any words for Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada at all, Sound?
It's working.
It's nice to be back here.
I like the city. I like the city a lot.
I like the city too.
And please, guitar
Safe.
back.
Please.
Yeah. Check out Tears for Fears videos.
Yeah. If you see the guitar.
Interpol, why should people care about Interpol? Why should people care?
Do you mean care as in enjoy our music? Because it's highly emotive.
All right. Well, thanks much, Interpol. Keep on rocking in the free world and do-do-do-do-do.
Fuck you. Whoops, can I not say that on air? Du-du.
You make me lose my buttons, oh yeah, you make me spit. I don't like my clothes anymore. We're spending time and money, yeah, you're cold.